3 years ago, Dave from Daily Driven Exotics bought a Ferrari 599 with intent to take it from an old man Grand Tourer to an angry, chrome gold, fire-spitting, gated manual, straight-piped Ferrari V12 drift missile. And it turned out to be so good that Damon decided he needed one too. They built the car side by side on the channel, but unfortunately it did not go as intended, and the cars never really got to be completed. The story didn't end up getting to reach conclusion because the cars were always broken and the effort didn't end up going into them to get them properly up to snuff. And that's where I come in, because I bought the chrome gold car not that long ago and brought it back to life and have it out on the road spitting fireballs and ready to enjoy and take on dumb adventures. But unfortunately, that leaves the blue car high and dry until Sean entered the picture. Sean is the 18-year-old business partner of mine who's done a lot of cool stuff, and he purchased the sister car to bring it to the channel so we could build the pair of them properly, get them back on the road, and take them on some ridiculous adventures. The blue car is in very, very good shape, but unfortunately it does still need a lot of work, and that's why we're here today. No, we are not pulling on your chain. There is not one, but two gated manual Ferrari 599s sitting here in the showroom. And yes, they are both the XDDE cars. At this point, we don't really know the entirety of the state of this car. It was supposed to be that this car was in very, very good shape, and this car was in very not good shape. But as this car got here, we realized, if you look in the last video, if you haven't seen it, check it out here, but this car really didn't actually need that much. It's happy, good, and to sort it out took very little effort. We needed an axle, HVAC controls, alternator, power steering, a handful of other auxiliaries, but it really didn't take that much money, and overall the car was in substantially better condition than anticipated. This car, on the other hand, is what parts were stolen from this to fix. And we have an inspection here that came with the car, because the car has been sitting at August for quite some time, a little bit in limbo because it had not yet been repaired, and they couldn't list it for sale until it was repaired. But the list of getting repairs done was very, very large, and now 22 pages large. Overall, it's quite funny. This car is in very good shape. It's just, again, a lot of dumb little stuff. The wheels and tires look pretty much brand new. The brakes are in very good shape. The paint is phenomenal because, of course, this car was completely repainted and completely redone by DTM Auto Body down in the States. And the car appears as damn near perfect. Like, the body is in phenomenal condition. The interior is in very phenomenal condition as well, outside of the dash pulling a little bit, which all old Ferraris do. But I mean, outside of that, this is a phenomenal car. It's a very well-spec'd car. It came originally with carbon shields and logos, which are not on it right now, and we're gonna see if we can track down. But aside from that, like, the spec on this car is incredible. It's got carbon headlights, if we look, which I have never seen. It's absolutely wild. It's got carbon headlights, carbon mirrors, carbon side skirts, carbon door handles, carbon gas door, carbon flying buttresses. Yes, that is the actual name for those. This car is very, very nice, and it's in very good shape. It's just too bad because, from what we know, in looking at the inspection and a quick 2-second look over the car, it needs a battery, and I mean, what else?
As of now, the clutch isn't behaving correctly. Tons of lights on the dash. It definitely needs a battery. It's dead the second you pull it off a boost pack.
And I guess beyond that too, we have not yet confirmed, but looking through the inspection that was provided to us by August, the car has a whole bunch of suspension stuff quoted as like ball joints, tie rod ends, and things like that. There's supposedly a couple leaks underneath that we have to look at, and it is indeed leaving transmission fluid on the ground. Obviously, there's some interior panels and things missing too. Like, you can't see because it's got the beautiful little flippy carbon dash covering it, but it does not have a radio right now. It's not bad, but it's also not great. So we shall see. We're gonna go to a lot of events. We got some really cool stuff planned this year, but thing number one is getting the car actually up to snuff so we have a proper sorted pair of Ferraris to go drive around in and make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
It was pretty efficient.
What is this? Let's just cut it. Right? We'll just cut this with the... Well, what do we do? I think we probably have to bring it to Ferrari now, right?
That is the solution when your Ferrari breaks. I don't know why you're bent over like the side of the car instead of just Like,
More comfortable, man. Can you grab me like a 13 and a half?
it is quite interesting. If you are in the BC Kelowna area and needing work done on a car, this inspection is very impressive. Can't even blame them. Like, looking through everything, it's very, very well put together. They got photos of all the lovely stuff that's broken on this car that we gotta fix. And they did a very good job going through it. We're still gonna look at some things because, for example, the clutch is being very weird. And, you know, we noticed that in just pulling it around the building to get it in here, but that isn't really noted on here. So we'll see. Unsure, impressive.
This thing just wants to fall at any moment.
Both this one and that one are like ready to take off somebody's dome.
Okay, so we got the battery in. Seems to fit, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Now we're gonna try it. And hopefully it works because we're closing the trunk, so we're risking it, That was me, not the car. Check out the just hold on. You gotta run that back. Check out the clutch. Zoom it in. Zoom it in. See that? See that? And then give it a couple pumps. And then it's stiff. So it seems to be something hydraulic.
So that right there is the clutch reservoir thing. And all it is literally just a tiny reservoir with a line that goes down to the master cylinder that's been mounted in the firewall. This was dangling down here just loose for some reason, which does not suspect or suggest good things.
No.
But hopefully the clutch issues that it's having are hydraulic rather than physical, because that would be less than ideal. Yeah, don't mind that. I don't know why they do this. Ferrari clamps are the absolute worst. We've already replaced all of them in that car as well as my FF, because for some reason they put on all these one-time use clamps that don't clamp. I don't know. And it's kind of funny because that car is from Switzerland, this car is from Japan, and looking at it, all the Japanese cars, it does not have GTB lettering on it anywhere, which is crazy. In every other market in the world, I'm just gonna go on a yap while he's fixing this. Every other market in the world, this was marketed as a 599 GTB. If we look at the dash in that car, it says 599 GTB, the screen says 599 GTB, and that plaque in the engine bay says 599 GTB. But if we look in here, the screen as it wakes up, if it wakes up here, just says 599, no GTB. The 599 on the dash does not have a GTB. And of course the one in the engine bay does not as well, which is really random, but interesting. Thing number one is getting a battery in the car, because of course if the car stalls or anything like that, no good. Thing number two, theoretically, even though this car currently needs a lot of crap, it should run and drive.
Yeah, it should drive.
It drove on and off the trailer, and on the inspection we were given from August, this car was road tested and supposedly did good. So we want to see exactly what happens here. We're gonna go very, very gentle and just go for a quick little loop and ensure / find out how that feels. After that, we are gonna get this thing up on a lift so we can do our own inspecting of the car and our own rundown as far as parts wise and whatever else. But for the time being, this one theoretically should run and drive as it sits. So we're gonna go for a loop. Okay, so I've drove mine. Now it's time for Sean to drive his. Let's see here. Hopefully the clutch does what it's supposed to.
2 seconds later.
Oh my god, the clutch, I'm losing pressure already. Oh! Jesus Christ. The
Apparently.
clutch is at the floor now. This is great. I'm just like gently touching it and it's losing pressure.
We're just gonna take a moment and appreciate how pretty this car is, because I will say I do really, really like the blue, especially as compared to the gold. This thing is freaking gorgeous. Sean's first drive, the Ferrari 599.
Got second. That's pretty great. No? The clutch is terrifying, dude.
Being disconnected from power.
You like put any pressure on the clutch, it just starts to lose pressure. That's how it's on. Rev matching with the V12 is interesting.
Dana. No. So far,
It runs and drives, apparently. See, I'm just like careful.
yeah.
That was traction loss. The brakes are really good, actually. What are you doing?
Hopping in the driver's seat.
Oh, I'm driving that back. You can drive back.
Little does he know, I'm about to get in the driver's seat.
What?
Yeah, those revs, like,
Instant.
instant draw.
Things like really humbling to drive right now. That's crazy.
599 is on the lift. We're gonna take a peek underneath, see if what we find under there matches what we're supposed to find via the inspection, as well as we're gonna try and bleed the clutch. Because the clutch master cylinder is mounted right here, and obviously it's aftermarket because the car is not originally a gated manual. But if we see, the level of the master cylinder is basically like right here. It's level with the reservoir. And when we got the car in, the reservoir was dangling down here rather than where it's supposed to be. So we stole a correct screw from my car, put it in here so it'll stay. And we will give this a bleed while we're at it, because even though it does have fluid in there, it was upside down. And it's highly likely that instead of being fluid, it's got air in the system, and that's why the clutch hydraulics are acting real weird. So no guarantees, but we're gonna give it a try because, you know, it's a little bit of fluid and a little bit of time and effort while we have it in the air to take a peek underneath the car anyway. Let's take a little peek and see how bad this is. This is gonna be intriguing. Because per the inspection, we are missing the back skid plate, but the front one's on here. It's got a little bit of damage, but you should have lifted it more. Now
Ouch,
I'm bent
my hair
over.
got
This is fine.
You're bent over.
But look, suspension definitely does look a little bit clapped out, which we knew that's on the inspection. We're gonna have to lift the car actually up and physically feel wheels or move wheels around to see if it's as bad as it's supposed to be or not. But it is a lowered car. We do expect a bit. It's just how much is a bit?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like it's supposed to be like that.
Look like that.
Sean already wiped it off because he's way too efficient apparently. But this was leaking pretty substantially and has been leaving fluid underneath. It's nothing crazy, but it's definitely this seam that it's leaking from. similar to my car. Got good old cross brace. And I don't know why, like it does look like it's been lifted from here, which is really funny because that's exactly what happened on my car, is that it was lifted from here, which breaks the welds, because if this was all still there, you'd probably be able to lift from the center and it wouldn't matter. But because this is structurally changed, it's not strong enough. So henceforth, you can see the scarring. If you put a jack and lift up, you're just gonna bend it exactly like what happened. It's hilarious.
Someone didn't learn their lesson the first time.
Yeah, I wonder who did both, but yeah, somebody did the exact same thing on both cars. With a car like this that's been sitting as much as this one has, we are gonna see some seepage and some leaks. And it's gonna be kind of we have to clean the entire underside of the car and see what remains. The leak on the transmission definitely is actively leaking for sure. But outside of that, like most of the leaks, because there is appearing to be some engine leakage and stuff up here, but most of it seems to be more residue based, and with the amount the car's been sitting, we'll just kind of have to monitor. It's really difficult to tell, but we did find the spot that was noted as the header on this side not having a bolt in it. Yeah, outside of that, like for the most part under here, it doesn't look too bad.
No.
It definitely needs a fresh up. That needs to be dealt with. We got to figure what's going on with the clutch, which hopefully shouldn't be too bad, because it would appear that is our bleed point right there for the hydraulics, which is what we're about to deal with here, hopefully in a second. But we're gonna try and give that a bleed. It's gonna need some attention, fluids, few leaks, deal with whatever's going on with the clutch. Outside of that, at least with a quick inspection under the car, barring bent vat and missing skid plate, not too bad. He's gonna go up there and get set up to do the bleeding, and we are gonna hang out down here and bleed. Sean has managed to hilariously monkey his way up there. We're gonna try and do a little bit of bleeding and see what happens. But fingers crossed. Ooh, bubbles. Okay, so fingers crossed. Hopefully it's a lot better. You can see the fluid that came out was disgusting. There's little chunks of things in it. And we did get some aeration out. It's really hard to tell, but thus far the pedal does seem different. We did have it running here. Let's go for another drive, see if it's better. We are in the GT3 RS because this thing needs fuel. Sean has pulled out the 599. Yeah, we're gonna go see how it is. We bled the clutch. Fingers crossed, it cooperates. So, and it's gonna be fun because this will be the first time me hearing this exhaust setup outside the car, which should be, I give you this. So clutch is still kind of cooked.
Yeah, it's like slightly better. And it's still really hard to drive because the tuning that's in it like cuts fuel completely after you're off the throttle. So it's ridiculous on upshifts because there's no rev hang. So it makes it really difficult to match the revs. But other than that, like it drives decent, clutch is still whack.